Hi. So I have been getting a few requests for some guidance on getting into this open tuning. So I've been doing all these uh, Phoebe Bridgers songs from her new album Punisher, and she uses these open tunings a lot. And okay, so first of all, so I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you some ways to do that. Okay, so if you use like a tuning app, if you use like a guitar tuning app, those are often just made to tune a guitar in standard tuning. So now there are fancy ones I know that you can like put in a tuning. So if you put in open D flat, it might help you in that way. You can also get an app that's a chromatic tuner. Chromatic tuner means it can tune to any note, and that would work. I'm going to show you a method of doing it by ear from standard tuning. Um, uh, it's not the only way to do it, but I like doing it this way if I'm getting into a tuning like this real quick. Okay, so first of all, just to say again what the tuning is, it's going to be D flat, A flat, D flat, F, A flat, D flat. Okay, so right now this guitar is in standard tuning. Okay, so the first thing, I'm going to start from the low. So I want this low E to go down to low D flat. Okay, so now, like I said, if you have a chromatic tuning app or a chromatic tuner of some kind, you play this, start cranking it down. When the thing says D flat or C sharp, then start being more careful and try to get it to be exactly that. Here's a way to do it by ear. The fourth fret on the A string is a D flat. It's a D flat an octave above what we want this to be, but what I can do is I'm going to play this, and then I'm going to start bringing this down until, so here that's how that's an octave now. An octave sounds very harmonious. It's a little too low. Okay, so I'm going to say that that's okay. Okay, so now this is in low D flat where I want it to be. So now this, which you might have noticed too, that's quite a bit lower than E. It's E, E flat, D, D flat. So that one's you're making some moves. This one is just going down a half step. It's just going down from A to A flat. And to do this one by ear, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to bring this down. Notice how that's a really dissonant interval. I'm just going to bring it down like that. And the first note, the next note that I get to is the note I'm looking for. And then again, that should sound really harmonious. That's a fifth. Sounds like a power chord. Okay, so now, same deal with the D. The D is only going down by a half step, so I can do this. Just start bringing it down slowly. And when I get to the very next note, you'll notice it'll start resonating. Okay, so my bottom three strings now sound like this. D flat, A flat, D flat. Okay, so now the G string goes down a whole step, so a little bit more. And notice with this one, so now this is sort of the trickiest interval so far. I want this to be a third up from this D flat. So this, I want da na. That's what a major third sounds like. It's the first two notes of "Oh, when the Saints Go Marching In." Oh, when. That's one way to remember it. So again, I'm just gonna bring it down. That's a fourth, so don't get confused, because that also sounds harmonious, because that's a nice interval, but that's not the interval we want. We want You could also match it to the 4th fret on your retuned D flat string. You know? I never liked that method of tuning where you match frets. I don't know why. Okay, so now I have that nice 3rd. The 3rd is a slightly more subtle interval than 5ths and octaves. So, you know. And now the B string now is going to go down to A flat. It's also a pretty big jump down. Now, there's a few ways you could figure that out. First of all, I could concentrate on just making that sound like a major chord. Do, 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 do. Sorry, do, do, do. That's the note I want, the 3rd fret. It's also an octave above this, so I can go. Hear that? And then I find doing the last one to be pretty easy because I'm just gonna keep going down. I just kept bringing it down until it sounded like a D flat. Notice these are all 3 octaves of each other now. D flat, D flat, D flat. Hopefully that wasn't too confusing. I can also use a piano if I have one like this. And just match the pitches. That's sort of how I do it. Notice that too, just to give a little more about that last one, because I kind of did that one fast. Yeah, it's an octave of this. It's also the same as the 5th fret on the now A flat string. Okay, cool. Hopefully that was slightly helpful. That type of method of getting into open tunings works for a lot of open tunings. By which I mean just sort of matching the strings to each other, listening for the resonance. All right, let me know if you have any questions or if I need to make a follow-up, which I'd be happy to do. All right, have a nice day.